What's going on, beautiful people? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for watching my videos. I appreciate your appreciation of my bullshit. And to show my appreciation for you guys, I'm gonna try and piss as many of you guys off as possible in this video. I always think if you piss a large group of people off, you're probably onto something good, because given the state of affairs of the world, given the way people live, well, when you piss somebody off, there's always that chance that you're saying something that actually makes sense and they don't want to hear it. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about group identity. All right? Group identity. I don't know where to begin. I don't know where to begin. Group identity. Group identity manifests itself in all shapes and forms. So you have people who identify themselves with a certain religious sect or affiliation. You have people who identify themselves with a nation state, right? And then you have people who identify themselves with a certain group, a community. For example, say you're gay and your group identity is, I am gay, this is my group, the gay community, right? They call it the gay community. And let's say you're, I don't know, like a right-wing conservative. Then you identify as, I am a right-wing conservative, or I am a left liberal, or I am a feminist, right? You identify so much with the identity of woman, that's your group, right? I am a feminist. Or even like now we have the male thing, the men's group, right? I don't know what they call it, but McDowell, right? Men gone their own way. I am a McDowell, right? That's my group, that's my identity, that's my community. And a lot of people who belong to these communities, look, we all belong to a community, whether we like it or not. But the problem becomes, and this is what most people are stuck in, when your group identity becomes your main identity and becomes your source of pride, your source of self-esteem, your source telling you this is who you are. And that comes from attachment. That comes from you being so attached to the illusion that is presented in front of you, that we call life, this video game computer simulation. This comes from a strong identification with the illusion, being so immersed in the illusion that you forget that it's an illusion and you think this is who you really are. And that becomes your main source of self-esteem and becomes your identity. That's what's called group identity. And that's a problem because, look, let's talk about the good things in here before I go on and start pissing more people off. Community and tribe is and communal, humans are communal, is absolutely a necessary and foundational part of the human existence. This is why probably our most optimal way to live is in small tribes, no more than 150 people. Because we are communal by nature, we are tribal beings by nature. But the problem becomes, or the problem sort of stems from being too attached to this identity that the group gives you and being too identified with it, and it forms, essentially it becomes your ego. Your identity becomes your ego, and any sort of attack on that identity, you take it personally. You take it as a personal attack on me. See, so like for example, if you're a Christian or you're a Muslim and somebody insults your faith, You get all pissed off and you start to burn flags and you burn, somebody draws your profit, so you start to burn flags and protest and all of that. Because you're so identified with this group identity, because it gives you your self-esteem. It tells you who you are. It tells you what you should do in life, how you should behave, what are the rules, what are the laws. From that perspective of that group, it gives you an identity. So now any attack on that identity, on the group, is an attack on your own identity, on your own self-esteem, on your own ego. And so you take it personally, and then you have all sorts of crazy people do all sorts of crazy shit, and they start to get angry and frustrated and spread negativity, and they start to belittle other people who don't belong to the same group as them. Like, this is common with feminists and McDowells, right? So feminists are the women who basically hate men. Let's be 100% real here. They hate men. And they're like, okay, this is my group. Women, being a woman gives me my identity. I'm gonna let the feminist movement and their ethics and whatnot tell me what to do, give me a sense of identity, a self-esteem, and then they go out there and then they, right? Big mess. The McDowells, on the other hand, which is men gone their own way, it's basically just the other side of feminism, right? It's this men hate women, because they're so identified with this identity of being a man, right? And for whatever reason, things haven't gone well with women in their life, and now they call themselves men gone their own way, and they hate women, and like, you know what I mean? It's a big mess. It's a big mess. What we all need to understand and know and realize that we are none of these groups. And we are none of these genders. We are playing characters. So yes, I am a male, okay? I am a male. I have a penis. I am playing this character that happens to be a male. And you know something? This character that is a male likes certain things that are more associated with masculine energy. I am not going to deny that. Not at all. However, the difference is, and this is where really things can either go really good or really bad. I know I am playing a character. I know that this is temporary. I know that I've played many characters before, and they were women, and they were just different characters, right? That's what incarnation, reincarnation, and respawning, right, is. You play different characters. I know I've played many different characters before, as a different race, as a different religion, as a different gender, as a different even sexual orientation. Right now I am a heterosexual male. Perhaps in a past life, in a past incarnation, in a past spawn, I was a homosexual woman, right? I was a lesbian. Probably all we were all at some point, We play these concept, and we do it so much. We come back to this video game, this simulation so much. We come back here so much that we probably play all kinds of different characters. So then that kind of understanding of the nature of reality and what it really is at its core and the purpose of it, which is really for us to come here and accept one another and create heaven on earth, then you're not so identified by your identity, your group identity anymore. Your group identity has no power over you to give you directions and tell you this is who you are and this is your self-esteem. It doesn't have, right? It doesn't have a power anymore, this group identity. It doesn't have power over you. It doesn't control you anymore. Because that's not really who you are. You're a stream of consciousness. You're an awareness. You're an eternal awareness experiencing this illusion temporarily. And you've experienced this illusion many times before, and you will experience it many times to come. Past, present, and future, all happening at the same time. It's all an illusion. Everything has already been created and written. The multiverse, right? The multiverse. And we're just playing. Each time we come here, we pick a different character and we play it. Look, man. When I play FIFA and I pick Barcelona and my friend picks Real Madrid, I'm playing Barcelona, right? So I'm in the game and I'm like, Messi's passing to Suarez, Suarez is passing to Rakitic, right? And I'm like into the game, right? I'm Barcelona right now. But I know I'm not Barcelona. Like, I know I'm not Barcelona. I'm just playing with Barcelona. You know why? Because the next game, when that game is over and I whip my friend's ass 6-0, we're going to come back in the next game and I'm going to pick Real Madrid and he's going to pick Barcelona. And I'm going to really get into it. And I'm going to play with Ronaldo and Bale. I'm like, I'm going to try and score with Ronaldo and I'm going to try and score with Bale. And I'll whip my friend's ass again 6-0. And then we'll probably go pick 2 other teams. So yes, we are playing the game. I am Real Madrid for those 15-20 minutes that I'm playing that particular game. But I know I'm not Real Madrid. I know I'm not the character. I'm playing the character, but I know I'm not the character. Right? So when somebody says, "Oh, Barcelona are a piece of shit," I'm not going to take it personally, because the next game I'm going to go pick Real Madrid. Somebody comes and says Real Madrid is a piece of shit, I'd be like, I'm not going to take it personally. It's not really me. I'm just playing it. I'm playing it, right? So you come to me and you say, "Saeed, you're a fucking idiot." I'll say, yeah, okay, Saeed is an idiot. And that's not really me. It's just, I'm playing this character. I'm playing it. I'm just letting my stream of consciousness just experience it and do its thing through it. But that's not really me. This thing here is going to fucking die. This thing here is... Phew, it's temporary. It's got a ticking time bomb in it. And I'll come back as a different character. Who knows? Maybe my next time I come in here, I'll be a woman. I'll be a lesbian. I would like to experience that incarnation as a lesbian. I think it would be pretty cool. So, yeah, this group identity thing is just, it's really taking so much of humanity's energy, like you turn on politics and you listen, these leftists, these conservatives, these rightists, everybody's pointing fingers at everybody else, right? Thinking their group is the right, has the truth, has the word of the Lord. And they think they have the truth and they're so identified with it. And they start to point fingers at other groups, right? You did this, you're a piece of shit, you're miserable, you have something stuck up your asshole, oh yeah, like, you really stink. No, but that's not who we are. This is what we gotta understand, man. This is what we gotta understand. How do we get people to understand this? How do you get people to know who they really are? Because once people get to know who they really are, they'll come back from this understanding and they are just not going to take shit personally, and they're not going to get offended, and they're not going to take all these roles that we play so seriously anymore. Really, like even I have so many examples in my mind of group identity and how absurd it is. How absurd it is. Yeah, it's, how do we get people, to really know who they are? Because if you know who you are, you come back and becomes a source of amusement to you. I am a huge fan of South Park. Okay, I'm a huge fan of Trey Parker and Matt. I forget his name, Matt and Trey, right? I'm a huge fan of these guys. I watch South Park every day. I crack up because South Park. This is according to Trey, right? Trey, I watched an interview of him. This is his outlook on society, on life. This is what he says. He says, we see 2 people and they're fighting over something, and they're essentially the same people, but they're fighting over it. So what we do is we think it's really fun to make fun of this and make fun of this and just get a laughter out of it. Because they're the same people. They're fighting each other using this group identity, using this ideals and beliefs and moralism and all of that. And, like religions fighting over each other, right? The Crusades, the Muslims fighting, the Crusades and Holy War and all of that, right? And then what South Park does is they just come and make fun of all of it. All of it. They make fun of it all, right? Because you realize that it's all absurd. All these identities that we take on are funny. And that's what they are. So why don't we just look at it this way? Look at the absurdity of life, the absurdity of being identified with a group, the absurdity of even having groups. Like, it's so absurd that just because you're Indian and I am Canadian, that we're somehow different now. I think that's very absurd. I think that's hilarious, right? I also think there are some very hilarious things about being an Indian, but that being an Indian, okay? And I also think there are some hilarious things about being Canadian, right? And I also think there are some very hilarious things about every race, because it's all funny. We're all the same, right? So if you ever spend some, like, a day with me or something, a couple hours with me, you might think I'm a racist if you're coming from that politically correct bullshit. But really, I make fun of all races, and I make fun of all religions and all of it, because it's not me, it's not you, it's not us. It's not us. It's a source of amusement. It's a character we take on. It's a role we take on, right? And our job as a collective humanity is to free ourselves from the shackles and the control of these group identities of the people who use and abuse the ideologies behind these groups to control people so they can manipulate them into, I don't know, doing whatever they want, power, money, etc., etc. Let's all recognize together that we are all spiritual beings having a human experience. How do we get to realize that? I don't know. People are so plugged into the matrix. Why do I talk about psychedelics in my videos? Because for me personally, and I'm just sharing now my truth, for me personally, my opinion, not my opinion, sorry, but my experience, so I'm not even saying an opinion, just an experience, I'm showing you my experience. The psychedelic showed me this thing. I was so identified with whatever I was identified with before, right? Like, you know what another identity that I had? A fitness guy, a gym guy, right? I used to look at myself as a gym guy, right? And that was like one of my group identities now, right? A gym guy. And then that, that's, sure, I have a community there. I love going to the gym, and there's a community, and I love people there, and it's sort of like become one of my communities. Another community that I have now is yoga, but I'm not identified with any of these. Because guess what? I'm also a YouTuber, and I'm also a male, and I'm also all of these things at the same time. And I'm always changing. You know what? Right now, I'm in the youth group. Fucking 50 years later, I'm in the oldies now. I'm in the senior citizens. So what? Now, 50 years ago, I was in the youth group, and 50 years later, I'm in the citizens group. So then what the fuck? Then I'm always changing. I'm always changing, right? Okay, so that's I'm none of these things. I'm just an experiencing them. I am an awareness. I am a stream of consciousness. I am a soul experiencing all of these things, but I'm none of it. None of it. I'm none of it. So the reason why I talk about psychedelics in these videos, because they've shown me that. And that so popular, famous, every person who does psychedelics, almost every person experiences, first thing, the cosmic giggle, the cosmic joke. You start to crack up hysterically, okay? Because you realize, oh my God, this is absurd. All these social roles that we play, all these group identities that we play, all these lies we tell ourselves, all of it is absurd. It's bullshit. What is true is love. What is true is oneness. What is true is that we are all a stream of consciousness, spiritual beings having a temporary human existence. And whatever it happens to be right now, it is. Right now, my experience, for example, happens to be, I am a male, my name's Saeed, and you know what? Even nowadays, you can change, man. You can go get a fucking surgery and become, instead of having a penis, now you have a vagina, right? Even now, you can change it with technology. That's what's funny. I can go change my name right now. So it's all like, it just shows you how fragile these identities are. They're so fragile that we now have the technology to even change your basic biological gender. That's how fragile identities are. What's true? And if you've been watching this video up until now, hopefully I pissed you off even a little bit, okay? But recognize this. The truth of life, the truth of this illusion, the truth, and this is, I'm going to step my foot on it and say this is the truth. Okay? Very few times you'll hear me say, this is the truth. But I know this is the truth. We are one. Oneness is the truth. Love is the truth. That much I know for sure. Everything else, I'm a fucking idiot. But this, I know. I know we're one. I know love is the truth. Love is the answer. And I know that I am the same as you. And I know you're the same as me. And I know we are the same awareness. We're having a subjective experience of what it's like to be in this video game, what it's like to be in this spawning, in this incarnation, in this illusion, in this beautiful illusion. I love life. I love this video game. If I didn't love this video game, and if you didn't love this video game, you wouldn't have made the conscious choice to spawn into it. So you love life. Everybody loves life. Everybody who's here on this planet loves life, loves to play this hardcore adventure game. If you don't, you wouldn't be here. As simple as that. So try to bring that laughter out of you. Try to bring that love out of you. And share it with the rest of the world. Stop taking things seriously. Stop being so fucking butthurt and offended over every little thing. When somebody insults your race, or somebody insults your religion, or somebody insults your gender, or it's like, no, I just take a laugh. Yeah, laugh about it, right? It's like, yeah, sure. You want to make fun of my gender? Oh yeah, like men are fucking stupid. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, we can be really fucking stupid. Alright, we can be really fucking stupid. And it's funny. Some of the shit we do as men is funny. So go ahead, make fun of it. Women, you want to make fun of men? Go ahead, make fun of men. I'll make fun of men with you. Then I'll make fun of women. And then you make fun of women with me too. Because we know we're the same. We're just love. And we're just, that's it. This is the oneness. This is the beings. We're all beings here. We're that same awareness, that same oneness, that love, divine spark that we really are at the core of us. At the core of ourselves. So yeah, this is why I think group identity is bullshit. I think community is important. Having support, having community, having people that love you and support you and accept you and don't judge you. I think that's important. I think being communal is my purpose. I'm creating community here on YouTube, right? So it is my purpose in life to create a community that is based on these values. So yes, community is very important. Community is crucial. Community is without community we are nothing. Because we are the same and we need each other. We're here, we need each other. All of us together, we need each other. But yeah, just stop taking things personally. Stop being so butthurt and offended over every little thing. And just take it easy and bring that laughter and that joy and that humor and that being out of you. And if you can't, just do this meditation, right? Before starting off the day, just take a breath and then because it's all just a big okay, so that's it. I love you guys. I love every single one of you, and I appreciate you watching this long rant, me ranting about this thing here. And remember the truth, oneness, love, that is the truth. So I honor and love you because I love me, because we're the same, and I love you, and blah, 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 blah. That's it. Don't want to go on an inception thing over here. As always, don't forget to subscribe, or you're gonna sleep with the fishes.